We're outside the federal courthouse in South Boston for the long-awaited arraignment of Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, the Boston Marathon suspect. Tsarnaev, 19, appeared in the public for the first time. He was wearing an orange prison jumpsuit. It was unbuttoned, black underneath. He had a cast on his left hand. His face looked a little disfigured, almost swollen. Not sure how to really characterize it, but it did look like he had some impact on his face.
It was hard for me to believe that he was sitting down there. It wasn't the same guy. He was a changed person, I guess.
Why did you?
The way he looked, the way he kept moving his body, his posture and all that.
The accused Boston bomber Dzhokhar Tsarnaev made his first court appearance on Wednesday to plead not guilty to all 30 federal charges contained in a sweeping terrorism indictment. But as you just saw, according to a former wrestling teammate, the guy who was in the courtroom didn't look like Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, didn't act like him, and had a different body language, but it does not stop there.
He did have that shaggy hair that is consistent with the photos that came out after his arrest in April. Now, this is the first time we're seeing Mr. Tsarnaev, 19 years old, from Cambridge. He was arraigned on 30 charges, more than 30 charges, including terrorism charges that could put him in prison for the rest of his life, or that even carry the death penalty.
Do you think he should get the death penalty?
No, I think he should suffer in jail for the rest of his life.
The charges were read out loud, and he was ordered actually, to answer not guilty himself. His lawyer had tried to answer for him, but Magistrate Bowler ordered that Tsarnaev respond himself. So 7 times he pled not guilty to different groups of charges. He had a thick accent. Throughout the proceedings, he seemed a little bit indifferent, kind of aloof almost. He would be scratching his face, looking behind him a little bit, licking his lips. Again, he did kind of seem indifferent to the proceedings.
According to the Boston Globe reporter, the person who was in the courtroom denying the charges did have a thick accent, what apparently contradicts the accounts of former schoolmates of Dzhokhar Tsarnaev about him having a little bit of foreign accent, or no accent at all.
Why'd you burp in my face?
This is feet.
You burped in my face.
That's burp here.
Get out.
No goat.
Get out of my room.
No room goat.
Hey, I said get out.
No goat.
Get out.
No.
I said get out.
No.
Look at me. Get out.
No goat.
Look at me, I said. Get out. Give me a kiss.
Okay.
No, give me a kiss. Atta girl. Now get out.
No goat.
Okay, come here. Give me another kiss.
Okay.
Okay, now get out.
No goat.
As long as there's no audio of the court hearing available for comparisons, ain't gonna jump to conclusions, but apparently we have the first odd details suggesting that it was a decoy, and not the real Dzhokhar Tsarnaev who was in front of the magistrate. In the beginning of the video, the Boston Globe reporter also said his face was disfigured, what's pretty odd considering that he was allegedly treated from his wounds 3 months ago.
People were packed into the courtroom. 30 victims were in the courtroom. Magistrate Bowler invited them to speak if they would. She told them they had the right to. No one did speak, but they were inside the courtroom, some of them wearing Boston Marathon gear. Outside, we did see some supporters of Tsarnaev who maintain that he's innocent, think that this is a government conspiracy. So we really did see 2 sides of this. But this has been the long-awaited trial, and it came with all the dramatics that would be expected.
Also is odd how the Boston Globe addressed the false flag event conspiracy without the usual mocking tone of mainstream media. Much by the opposite, they made sure of highlight the protesters outside the courtroom, exposing the inside job behind the Boston bombings, what definitely is not usual for mainstream media reports. Regarding the picture leaked from the hospital, where Dzhokhar Tsarnaev seems to be dead, I definitely still don't believe he could have survived with multiple wounds of point-blank range gunshots, and as long as still there are no actual images of him after his capture, the possibility of a decoy being used to keep the shenanigans of the US government going on doesn't seem unfathomable at all. But the problem with the decoy theory is that his family would spot the farce, unless the Tsarnaev brothers have more relatives in the payroll of three-letter agencies, like their uncle Ruslan, a long-time contractor of the US government with deep ties within the CIA. I guess we are gonna have to wait until someone leak actual images of the courtroom to see if the decoy theory still holds water.